Hi there, it's Wise here, once again bringing you some wise words, helping you make being conscious look easy. Speaking of which, are you hungry? Hungry for some information? What are you hungry for? I'm hungry to tell you about fasting. Fasting. There's so many fad diets out there. There's so many people out there doing intermittent fasting, the ketosis diet, people out there doing water fasting, juice fasting, and I wanted to give you a little bit of information and insight on it. Well, what do I know about it? I've been doing fasting for the past 2 years, intermittent fasting for over the past 7 years, and over the past year, I've been really focusing in on doing 2 days a week, strict 24-hour water fast. So, let's get started. Talk to you about fasting. Before we do get going, if you haven't already, why don't you click the like, comment, or subscribe button? And if you want to make sure you know whenever I go live or put up a new video, hit the bell down below. So, fasting. Let's talk a little bit about what fasting is. Fasting is where you lower your caloric intake, whether that be by just taking it down to 600 calories a day, or some people are even as extreme, like I said, to go to doing it 24 hours with not having anything but water. Think about that. So, think about the benefits first. The benefits of fasting. Well, the benefits of fasting, in my estimation, are innumerable, but here are a couple of my favorites. One, increase neurotrophic factors. That means that your brain, your mental cognition, your neural synapses work quicker and better, helping you make better decisions, deal with stressful situations, and be in a better mood. Another thing it does is it lowers insulin in your bloodstream. So after about 12 hours of not eating, and really around the 16-hour mark, insulin levels really start to decrease in the bloodstream because there's really nothing else for them to break down. It's a great benefit, especially for people looking to help lower their insulin levels who are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Another benefit is lower inflammation or reduce inflammation in the body. Joints, muscles, chest, anywhere that you are feeling inflamed, if you're feeling a little swollen, fasting will help you. Clearing out your gut allows your body to spend energy elsewhere with healing things. Now, I'd be lying or remiss if I didn't tell you there are some cons to fasting. It may not be the end all be all that you're looking to. One of the biggest cons is fatigue. There's a lot of people that when they hear that I do 2 times a week a water fast for 24 hours, how do you do it? I'd get so hungry, I'd be so hangry. And in the beginning, it was like that. In the beginning, I did get hangry. I was only used to doing 16 hours at a time before then, and then eating the majority of my food within that 8 hours. I've been like that for a long time due to a little bit of sensitivity when it comes to eating later in the day. I like to do workouts early in the morning, so if I ate any time past 7 o'clock, I always felt myself feeling really sick and lethargic in the morning for my workout. So I just, before it was cool, I was doing intermittent fasting. I think it's a great idea. When I first started off, though, I was ill prepared with the amount of water that I needed, making sure that I was taking in the right type of nutrients and everything the day before I did it, and making sure I got the proper rest and so on and so forth. So there are some cons. The fatigue is one of the biggest ones. Another one, if you're looking to use fasting as a way for weight loss, well, my friend, binge eating can be another con. What tends to happen is that when you pull yourself away from that dopamine and serotonin release from eating your favorite foods, from taking in sugars or taking in salts or taking in fats, when you pull yourself away from that, sometimes there's a rubber band effect. There's a snap that when you come back, you should really eat a small meal. And what happens a lot of times is that people eat huge meals because they haven't eaten in 24 hours, right? And then they get stomach aches and they feel bloated and they feel like, oh, well, I'm never going to do that again. And then they stop. So you have to really weigh the pros and cons, through the benefits, the lower inflammation, lower insulin levels, higher neurotrophic activity. Do those things sound better than the cons, which could be fatigue? If you don't watch yourself and if you don't eat the right stuff the day before and post fasting, and also the fact that you possibly could get a little bit agitated, let's say. So the cons are there. So what I would say is practice. Make sure that you practice. If you're going to do any fasting, if you're interested in it, do your research. With anything, do your research, especially something like this. In some cases, you may need your physician's help or even the go ahead from your doctor before you start something like this. So everybody's case is a little bit different. I'm just telling you what I went through. In fact, let me give you 3 ways that I like to prepare for a fast. Number 1, drink plenty of water. Half my body weight in fluid ounces at least, even on days that I'm not fasting. On days that I know I'm going to fast, I like to bump that up a little bit, maybe about 25%. So, quick case scenario. My body weight, I weigh about 150 pounds. So half my body weight in fluid ounces would be about 75 pounds. So 75 fluid ounces of water a day. Usually people should get it right around 64. That's where every cup is 8 ounces, and they say get about 8 cups a day. That's 64. So I would get just a little bit more on my days that I know I'm going to fast after, or the days that I am fasting. I like to get it right around 100 or so, maybe about 110 if I can stomach it. Another thing I like to do, number 2, plenty of rest. Make sure that you're able to get at least a solid night of 8 to 10 hours of sleep. 10 hours, I'm telling you, 10 hours of sleep. Once you start getting like 8 hours of sleep, you push it up to 10 every once in a while. I mean, I have a newborn at home, so I look to milk it as much as possible. I'm telling you, sleep makes all the difference. All the difference. It'll help give you energy from places you didn't even know you had it. Sometimes I feel like if I get enough sleep, I can maybe even go 2 days without eating. And number 3, make sure that your pre-day and your post-day to your fast, you have a good plan for what you're going to eat. So if you feel like you're the type of person that is definitely going to be hungry over the next 24 hours, eat something that's going to stick to your ribs. Make it a big heavy pasta meal, or maybe a lot of mashed potatoes. Anything that you know will sit heavy with you, so that you know that 24 hours from then, you'll be good to go. Another little trick I like to use is that sometimes I'll start my fast at 7 in the morning, eat my last really big meal at like 7 in the morning. That way I go through my whole work day, I go home, and then when I go to sleep, I wake up the next morning, my fast is over, I've slapped through what I consider the hardest part, the last few hours. So, there you have it, fasting in a nutshell. You know what? I'm not even that quick, but I fast all the time, my friend. So see if it is for you. Go out there and check it out. There's so many different links and information out there nowadays about fasting. So don't put your head in the sand. If you are looking to make your body a better temple for being on this planet, then go ahead and look into fasting. I mean, Buddha did it. Jesus did it. I can think of a bunch of other people. Try it out. You might like it. And if not, you don't have to do it. Whatever the case may be, I'm glad that you spent some time listening to me telling you about fasting. So if any of this information was worth more than 0, like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe. And from always, here at the Wise Tribe, to your Wise Tribe, infinite love, infinite peace, infinite wisdom, and hopefully not infinite hunger. Namaste.